So Gacha Games Horny rankings based on R18 content on PIXIV. Ooh, rankings of all the horny Gacha games. Any horny fans in the chat? It's time to rise up. Alright, so this is going to be a topic that everybody needs to know about. So ever wanted to find out which Gacha games had the horniest community? This post will rank 10 popular Gacha games and find out who is the horniest and purest communities in a gacha based on percentage of R18 content on PIXIV. Alright, so it is going to be based on percentage. Very interesting. Shouldn't it be based on total numbers rather than percentage? But then total numbers might not be fair. There was, however, 2 criteria I added. The game has been released for over a year as of the writing of this post, which is 11th of August, alright. More than 20,000 plus works, illustrations and manga have been made on its main game tag on PIXIV. So if you guys have browsed through PIXIV, there's tag for that particular game specifically, like let's say Blue Archive or like Genshin, right? If your game meets these 2 criteria but isn't here, I only plan to rank the top 10 gachas. So, list of gacha games. Alright, Uma Musume Pretty Derby, Genshin Impact, Blue Archive, Azulane, FGO, Arknights, Grand Blue Fantasy, Honkai Star Rail, Nikke, Girls Frontline. Alright guys, without spoilers, who do you guys think is going to be number 1? Alright, with the most percentage of R18 content on PIXIV. Which one do you guys think will be the number 1? And which one do you guys think will be the last place? Alright, so I want you guys to try to give like an estimate guess. FGO is going to be number 1. You think FGO is the one with most R18 hentai content? Drawn on PIXIV? Sparkle Fit. Wait, is there Honkai Star Rail? Okay, there is. There's no ZZZ yet, sadly, because ZZZ Zenless Zone Zero is not more than 1 year yet. I see a lot of Honkai Star Rail, Genshin. Blue Archive is number 1. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. It's hard to say. AFK Journey is not here, sadly, right? So number 10, Uma Musume. 0.2% R18 content. Alright, so you can see the total submitted works right there. Save for work, 99%. 99% of the PIXIV drawn for Uma Musume is save for work. Only 0.2%, a measly 0.2%, are sexualized horses. Okay? Which I do think that Uma Musume, I'm not super familiar with the this particular gacha game, but I think I've read somewhere before where the author or some of the content IP owner or something requested to hopefully not sexualize the horses or something, right? Something along those lines. But yeah, Uma got a law of their fan art. Really? But this is on PIXIV though, specifically. Maybe the law is just applicable to their country. But yeah, okay. So Uma Musume is 0.2%. Percentage is going to be NSFW. So number 9, Arknights. Okay. To the surprise, Uma Musume takes 10th spot and is the purest gacha game. Alright, by a wide margin. Uma Musume is the 4th most popular gacha game based on works made. The content guidelines, along with PIXIV taking down NSFW content on a frequent basis, has made R18 content of Uma Musume extremely rare. Ooh, I didn't know that PIXIV actually takes down NSFW content. Is it like a request from the government and stuff, right? Huh. That is crazy. So Arknights is number 9. So out of all the content, out of all the pictures that were drawn by artists about Arknights, 10% of it are NSFW and 89.2% is going to be save for work. So at number 9, Arknights is 10.8%. Alright, coming as 5th most popular gacha game on works made with 243,000 total works. Arknights comes in the 2nd purest gacha on the list, only beating Uma Musume, not for a high bar to pass. Now here's the thing though, right? If you guys look at the total of arts drawn, Uma Musume has more art. Uma Musume is the 4th most popular gacha based on the works made, whereas Arknight is the 5th, but they don't look at which one has the more. They don't look at the numbers, they look at the percentage. Based upon this particular tag category, how many of the percentage are NSFW, how many of the percentage are SFW, right? They look at it that way, which is going to be a little bit different, I guess, right? Let's see, number 8 is going to be Girls Frontline. So Girls Frontline and Arknights is quite similar, surprisingly. 12.7% is NSFW, The rest 87% is safe for work. Okay? At the 8th spot is Girls Frontline, alright? 12.7% of the works are R18. 7 most popular gacha games, okay? So Girls Frontline is 7 most popular, and Arknights is 5th most popular. But Girls Frontline beat Arknights in terms of the percentage of NSFW. But I don't think that's fair to look at percent. I'm not sure if it's fair to look at percentage. What if this one has way less art, so therefore it's easier to gather like a higher percentage, right? Because like technically, the more art is out there, that means it's going to dilute the total of SFW versus NSFW art overall. But I guess it's probably going to be a bit more complicated, right? If you go to 2CH, there are JP who ask for help on how to brew their own NSFW AI art locally. Damn, I didn't know about that. Number 7 is Fate Grand Order, 15.4% of R18 content. Okay, a little bit of jump right there, okay. So Fate Grand Order is number 7. So 15% NSFW, 85% safe for work. Okay, so a lot of people still draw like somewhat safe for work for Fate Grand Order, FGO. Blue Archive, number 6. Okay, out of all the Blue Archive art that's being drawn, only 18% of Blue Archive's work or hentai or, you know, drawn artisting are going to be NSFW. Very interesting. A lot of Blue Archive art is still safe for work. Interesting, 81%. Blue Archive is there's a lot of art for Blue Archive, but surprisingly the percentage of NSFW to SFW fake. You need more. Now this is just on one website. PIXIV is just one website, right? Blue Archive has so much doujins though. I know, but it's all the doujins uploaded on PIXIV though. I don't really go to PIXIV that much. This is based upon PIXIV, right? There's a lot of art website. There's a lot of outside of PIXIV. There's like Twitter, people post art. There's like all those Boru site, right? Danboru and those sites as well. So this one is just counting PIXIV specifically with the tag right there, right? Blue Archive is wholesome, specifically wholesome right here. At number 6, surprisingly, Blue Archive is 18.7% of all works being R18. This is probably the first ranking that will shock many people, and many people wonder how insanely horny the other gacha not listed yet. Blue Archive is the 3rd most popular gacha based upon works. The amount of works they have in total is more, but at the same time, a lot of it are safe for work, and has the 3rd most R18 works on the list. Oh, Blue Archive still has the 3rd most R18 works on the list, but because of their own percentage, because they are calculating their percentage of total Blue Archive list, because they also have a lot of NSF safe for work ones as well. Very interesting. Genshin Impact, interesting, 19.5% NSFW. Wow. Genshin. All those websites are scrapping from PIXIV. I'm not sure, right? Some people maybe they don't. PIXIV I think is more regulated than the other websites, as far as I know, because they do actively delete stuff. The rankings depend on how you measure the data, of course. Yes, the rankings depends on how you measure the data. So here's the thing, right? This one might not be super accurate because of how this thing works. So let's say Blue Archive. Let's say Blue Archive total art. Let's say there's 1 million art right there, right? And then out of 1 million art, 200,000 is going to be NSFW. So this means Blue Archive is going to have 20% of NSFW, and the 80% are safe for work, right? But it's dependent on the total art basically. So it might not be a fair number. For example, like let's say Genshin has half the amount. Genshin has 500k total art, and if Genshin has the higher percentage of this, right? Genshin has let's say 100,000 of this. So you can see this is always in proportion to the total of art that is submitted for that. So it's not super accurate, I feel like. because some of these actually have way less art. So let's see. 94,000, 82,000, but Genshin do have a lot, right? I'm talking about like a few of these other ones. Blue Archive is the third most, okay. Genshin Impact, respectable 19%. How is the Genshin Impact community hornier than Blue Archive? My indicator guess would be that a stronger pressure globally may have contributed to its NSW content. Genshin is the second most popular gacha based on works. Genshin is the second most popular gacha based on works and has the most R18 works on the list. And Blue Archive is the third. Very interesting. Okay, Azulin is number 4. 23% NSFW, 76% SFW. Very interesting. So number 3 is going to be Grand Blue Fantasy. Okay. 23.6% of the art is NSFW. Very interesting. I never really follow Grand Blue Fantasy. I didn't know there's a lot of hentai stuff. Wow. Number 2, Honkai Star Rail. 27% of its art on PIXIV are not safe for work. And the other 73% are safe for work. Alright, so there's a lot of people drawing huge for Honkai Star Rail. Not even 100k safe for work. Yeah, there's so little artwork actually. You see what I'm saying, right? If you look at this, 21,000 and SFW is 21,000. And Blue Archive and SFW is 94,000. Even though Blue Archive, 82,000. Even though Blue Archive is, the percentage is less, but the total of NSFW art is way more. They have 82,000 NSFW art. Blue Archive, 82,000. Grand Blue Fantasy, 21,000. But because it has less art, so it's easier for it to achieve this number. Lots of AI artists. So number 2 is Honkai Star Rail, 13,000. Honkai Star Rail has so little art. What is happening? Yeah, Honkai Star Rail has so little art in the... Maybe it's still a fairly new game. You know what kind of Lute Star Rail they are playing? You love the sparkle art. And number 1, with the most NSFW percentage out of its total art, belongs to... Drum roll. Nikke, Goddess of Victory, is number 1. With 29% of its art consists of R18 content, but it barely has any art, 8,222 art and SFW art, and 20,000 of its art are safe for work. So again, like you can see, the NSFW of Nikke is only 8,000 here, but it's like 10% of the total art of NSFW that Blue Archive has, which is 82,000. 82,000. Nikke has 8,000. Nikke has way less art. Way less art. But because it has way less art, it's easier for it to achieve number 1. Because of that. Because the percentage is higher. So percent is higher. That's a different way on how to put it. Yeah, because it's calculating its own category. Which one is under SFW and which one is under NSFW, right? So I think it's easier for you to get number 1 if you have less art. That's the theory that I have, or the hypothesis that I can draw from all of this, right? Nikke is the second youngest game in that list, behind Honkai Star Rail. Probably, yeah, that's fair. The winner or loser, depending on perspective, of the Horny rankings is Nikke, with 29% of all works being R18. This is the least surprising rankings on this list, as Nikke's Twerking Cyborgs takes the top spot on the list, with a caveat: Nikke is the 10th most popular gacha, based upon works on this list by a wide margin, only having a 28,000 total works. Yeah, Nikke is the least popular out of all of this, and has the least amount of art out of all of these other games right here. But because it has so little art right there, it can easily dilute itself by putting like, you know, a few NSFW here and there. Where's Honkai Impacted? Honkai Impacted is not famous. What can we gather from this list? Other than the gacha communities being horny, this does leave us some points of interest. How different communities within gacha affect these numbers. Larger communities tend to have a lower percentage of NSFW art due to more variety and higher number of works. Nikke, while being a highly and consistently popular and profitable gacha, having high revenue numbers, has a much lower number of total works, though a majority of art is suggestive or explicit. Umar Musume continues to be an outlier in the gacha community in terms of works, having less than 1% of R18 content, as well as currently being the only game with no English release. Female-only cast seems to not make much of an effect on percentage of R18 content, with games such as Genshin, Grand Blue, Honkai Star Rail, FGO being mixed casts and having a high number and percentage of R18 content. That's true, right? The game has dudes, it doesn't matter, people are still gonna loot it regardless. Brown Dust 2 is getting horny as well. Yeah, I guess so, eh? It's going to be a bit different. Twerking Cyborgs. Honkai Star Rail, being the newest gacha on this list, has an inflated percentage. As more works on PIXIV are made over the years, the percentage of R18 content may fall down. Okay, that's fair. It'll be interesting to see in the next few years how the landscape will change and how big gacha releases like ZZZ or any future releases percentages may be. For now though, Nikke is currently the horniest gacha community. Blue Archive is lower. Very interesting. BA has incredible character development and a lot of well-executed wholesome moments in the main story that inspires a lot of non-horny art. That doesn't reduce the amount of level of horny in the Blue Archive community, it just means the horny is well supplemented with wholesome content too. Blue Archive is great at making the players really love their characters, whether it's the wholesome or horny kind of love. More of the fan arts of BA is the suggestive types. Huh. Azulin only being number 4 scares me. Yeah, I think this is a pretty interesting post to look at, right? Has the total amount of art that others had in NSFW. Brown Dust 2 is getting there though. I'm not sure. Maybe it's getting there, maybe it's not. But yeah, cool stuff.